Hey there, welcome to yet another video of me recording things that I built in Minecraft. After a long train ride from the place where I was when I shot the last video, I am here on the edge of a swamp where I built what I call my swamp castle. It was built out of nether rock or whatever it's called that I got out of a portal that's nearby. Pretty cool, it's right near with some coral and all that. Now you can see where I kind of copied and pasted it in right there from my previous save world. There's my portal, which is a little far from the castle, and there's the castle coming through the trees. Nether brick? Sure. This castle is intentionally unfinished, as if it were ruined. So I kind of like left little bits and pieces of wood here and there as if there used to be a bigger castle here, and it's been sort of taken over by the swamp. And bits and pieces are gone or missing or whatever. This is my little area where I smelt things and store stuff. And above me is sort of the rest of the train station to a couple different areas. Let me go over here first. This is the front of it. Kind of go up on the battlement and look out over the swamp if you want, at the sheep or whatever. Got some towers where you can do more of the same. Kind of see the surrounding area. Let's see if I go over here. Sort of a round room. And then there's sort of a walkway here that leads to the top of a room that has a pathway that leads down to yet another stronghold, which is why I built this castle, this swamp castle, in the swamp in the first place, because I like to build over the top of strongholds. For no real good reason other than I just think strongholds are kind of cool. So I'll go ahead and exit this one from here. This is the pathway that I just came across above us. Here's that roundish room, or here's a big square room with another sort of a blocked off way, I guess. Oh, there's not much down here. I think there's just a little room down there, area down there. And then if you go out here, there's just swamp. And here's the bridge for the railway that heads in a new direction. And this is pretty much back where we started when we got to the castle. So anyway, if you go up here, this is the rest of the rail station. This one just leads to the portal that we drove by earlier, in which I have railroads that lead from here to some of the other more prominent fixtures in my world, other places where I've built stuff. It's a quicker way to travel going rail that way versus going rail in the regular world here, because I guess time doesn't travel at the same speed in the nether or whatever. So this way I have a Nether Fortress and an abandoned house. So I'm going to go take you to those real quick. The Nether Fortress I copied out of the Nether and placed here back before the recent Nether update so that I could have something like that out in this world. I just kind of pasted it up there, didn't really do much with it. It's just a big weird looking floating structure here in the regular world that you would normally never see in a game of Minecraft. There it is. And we're in another fortress. So basically it's just a big chunk of an island of nether that I copied out of the nether and put here because I thought Nether Fortress is really cool looking, and I figured, oh, why not? So it's here, and I haven't really done much with it, but I just thought it was something neat to do. Get in there. Okay. Next is the road to the abandoned house. Might have to do an edit here. I'm not sure how long this railroad is to get there. We'll see. If it gets too boring, I'll try to chop it out without mangling the video. With these bridges, originally like with MC Edit, the first time I built these bridges going from all these places in this save game, I built them by hand by swimming backwards through the water and just putting these blocks and then adding these columns and putting these rails on them and whatever. I used MC Edit in some of the times I switched from this world to a more recent version of Minecraft so that I could have all the things available close to where I built, um, and and they and I would copy and paste chunks of them at a time, so it was easier and faster. But I did actually go through at some point and build all of these. And the last time I did this, when I copied this world from another, I just copied the chunk that had the rails in it over from the previous one, so I didn't have to rebuild them all again, although I ended up rebuilding some of them to try to keep things looking okay. We are now in the back of the abandoned house. It's supposed to be kind of gloomy and scary. It's in the swamp. I didn't want to put any lights in it because of that. So it's just this weird wooden house with some windows missing and kind of grayish windows and various rooms with really nothing in them, sort of this abandoned house. Just thought it would be kind of cool to have something dark and spooky, I guess, in my world. If we go down in here, and this door is, you guessed it, yet another entrance to another stronghold that I tend to build things over. And then if we go out here, we can kind of see what it looks like from the outside. Sort of a big haunted-ish house, sort of a towery kind of thing on the corner over here. Kind of try to make it look like a haunted house, I guess. And I think it looks alright. And yeah, there you have it. And there's that nether that I copied out and pasted into the world over there. Looks like there's a little witch's hut there too. And let's see, and I think that's mostly all there is to see. I used to have this keep going, and I had in a previous version of Minecraft, the save game had another railroad here that went to desert and a mushroom continent or island, and an above water site where I was going to build some kind of floating thing above a stronghold. But I didn't redo all that railroad and all that stuff. There was nothing really there. There was a small pyramid that I built in the desert that didn't have anything in it, and just railways to get to a place where I never actually built anything. So at some point I might come back and redo those railways and build a stronghold or something out on the water. But until I get around to it, I guess I'm just not going to do it. And I think that pretty much concludes this video. For the next video, I'll take you somewhere else and show you something else that I think might be worth watching. Thanks.